Cronus, one of the 12 Titans, was son of Gaia, Mother Earth, and Uranus, Father Sky. The 12 Titans were all children of Gaia and Uranus, amongst which Cronus was the youngest. However, Cronus's siblings, the one-eyed Cyclops and the 300-handed Hecaton Keres, were hated by their own father Uranus. He hated them so much that he hid them in Tartarus, a dungeon used for torment. His wife Gaia didn't like what her husband did, so she formed an alliance with her other children to castrate him. She made a stone sickle, which she wanted to give to the child who was going to castrate Uranus. No one wanted to do it except Cronus. He took the sickle and went to castrate his own father. He then threw his testicles and the sickle into the ocean, which became Corfu, a Greek island famous for its sickle-like shape. After Uranus was overthrown, Cronus and his sister Rhea became the king and queen of the world. The time period in which they ruled is known as the Golden Age. However, Uranus prophesied that Cronus is going to be overthrown by one of his own sons. Due to this fact, Cronus got frightened and devoured all 5 of his children right after they were born. When Rhea gave birth to their 6th child, she wanted to save it from its father, and instead of giving it to Cronus to devour, she gave him a rock wrapped in cloth. Meanwhile, the child was escorted to safety, hidden in a cave on the island of Crete, where he grew strong and wise. This child's name was Zeus. Zeus was the god of the sky and thunder, also known as the king of gods. As he matured, he prepared to challenge his father's reign and free his siblings from their eternal imprisonment within Cronus's belly. He used an emetic, given to him by his mother Gaia, and successfully saved his siblings, whose names were Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Hestia, and Demeter. With their help, and the help of the Cyclopes and Hecatonchires, he waged a war against the Titans, which was later known as the Titanomachy. With thunderbolts forged by the Cyclopes and the aid of his siblings, Zeus emerged victorious, casting Cronus and the other Titans into the depths of Tartarus. He then married his sister Hera, who then gave birth to Ares and Hephaestus. Zeus, however, was also known for his affairs with many other goddesses, from which Athena, Hermes, Dionysus, Apollo, and Artemis were born. Hera. Hera was the goddess of marriage, women, family, and the protector of women during childbirth. She was a sister and a wife of Zeus. Her defining characteristic is her jealous and vengeful nature in dealing with anyone who offended her, especially women who laid with her husband, and the children that came from it as well. For example, she sent serpents to kill Hercules as he was born, but the newborn crushed the snakes with his bare hands. Poseidon, the god of the sea, also known for having power over storms and earthquakes. When Zeus's son Minos asked Poseidon for help to support his claim of the throne of Crete, Poseidon gave Minos a magical white bull, with the condition he would sacrifice the bull to Poseidon later. The city folk were so impressed by the bull that they named Minos the king of Crete. However, Minos didn't fulfill the deal he had made with Poseidon and sacrificed a mere ordinary bull. Poseidon got really angry, making Minos' wife fall in love with the white bull, resulting in the birth of Minotaur, a half-human, half-bull creature that fed on human flesh. Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, fertility, and harvest, was born to the Titan Cronus and the Titaness Rhea. Demeter's most famous story revolves around her daughter, Persephone. Persephone's beauty caught the eye of Hades, the brooding god of the underworld. One day, while picking flowers in a meadow, Persephone was suddenly snatched away by Hades and taken to his dark realm. Demeter's grief was immense, and her sorrow manifested in the form of a devastating winter that gripped the earth. Meanwhile, Persephone languished in the underworld, torn between her love for her mother and her newfound role as queen of the dead. Hades, though enamored with his captive bride, could not bear to see Demeter's suffering. He struck a bargain with her, agreeing to release Persephone if she had not consumed any food in the underworld. Yet, Persephone had tasted a pomegranate seed, binding her to the realm of the dead for a portion of each year. Hades. The god of the underworld was son of Cronus and Zeus's brother. Hades emerged as the eldest brother, destined to preside over the realm below. Despite his ominous reputation, Hades was not inherently evil. However, his aloof and enigmatic nature often led mortals and even other gods to view him with suspicion and dread. Despite his solitary existence in the underworld, Hades occasionally interacted with other gods and mortals. One such encounter occurred when the hero Hercules descended into the underworld as part of his 12 labors. Hades, impressed by Hercules' strength and bravery, allowed him to leave with the three-headed dog Cerberus, a fearsome guardian of the underworld. Athena. Athena was the goddess of wisdom and warfare. Athena's origins are as intriguing as her character. She was born not from the union of mortal parents, but from the head of her father, Zeus, king of the gods. Legend has it that Zeus swallowed Metis, the goddess of wisdom and cunning, fearing that she would bear a child more powerful than himself. However, Metis had already conceived Athena, who sprang fully grown and armored from Zeus's head. But Athena's influence extended far beyond the battlefield. She was also the patron goddess of Athens, the great city named in her honor. According to legend, Athena and Poseidon, the god of the sea, competed for the patronage of the city. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, creating a spring of water, while Athena planted an olive tree, symbolizing peace and prosperity. The citizens of Athens chose Athena as their patron, recognizing her wisdom and benevolence. Apollo. The god of sun, light, music, and poetry, was born to Zeus and a gentle titaness called Leto. Hera, Zeus's jealous wife, wanted to interrupt her pregnancy, casting her aside from all lands where the sun shone. But eventually, with the help of the goddess Iris, Leto found a secluded island called Delos, where Apollo and his twin sister Artemis were born. Artemis. The goddess of the hunt and the moon, was the daughter of Zeus and twin sister of Apollo. Legend has it that upon her birth, she aided her mother in delivering her brother, just moments after she was born. One interesting tale centers around her encounter with the giant hunter Orion. When a scorpion threatened Orion's life, Artemis intervened, saving him with her swift arrow. Grateful, Orion joined Artemis in her hunts, and their friendship grew into something more. However, Artemis's brother Apollo grew jealous and tricked her into fatally shooting Orion. Overcome with grief, Artemis immortalized Orion as a constellation, forever honoring their bond in the night sky. Ares. The god of war, son of Zeus and Hera, entered the world as a symbol of conflict and strife. Ares was not like his siblings. While Athena represented strategic warfare and wisdom, Ares embodied the brutal chaos of battle. He was impulsive, driven by an insatiable thirst for combat and conquest. His appearance mirrored his nature, a tall, muscular figure, clad in armor and wielding a mighty spear. During the Trojan War, he sided with the Trojans. However, his interference often brought him into conflict with Athena, who favored the Greeks. Their rivalry fueled the flames of war, resulting in multiple conflicts between the two mortal groups. Aphrodite. Legend has it that Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, was born from the foam of the sea near the island of Cyprus. This miraculous event was a result of a tumultuous union between the Titan Cronus and the sea nymph Dione. But Aphrodite's beauty was not without consequence. Jealousy and rivalry brewed among the gods, each vying for her favor. The most prominent of these suitors was Hephaestus, the god of fire and craftsmanship. Despite his earnest efforts to win Aphrodite's affection, she remained aloof, drawn instead to Ares, the god of war. Their illicit affair ignited the fury of Hephaestus, who crafted a golden net to ensnare them in their passion, exposing their indiscretions to the divine court. Hephaestus, the god of fire and craftsmanship, entered the world with a physical deformity that would shape his destiny. Some say he was born with a limp, while others suggest he had a crooked spine. Regardless of the specifics, his appearance was not what his divine parents had hoped for. His mother Hera, consumed by shame and disappointment, rejected Hephaestus, casting him out of Olympus and into the depths of the sea. There, he was rescued by Thetis and Eurynome, sea goddesses who took pity on the abandoned infant. For 9 years, Hephaestus lived among them, honing his skills and mastering the craft of metalworking. It was during this time that Hephaestus forged his most magnificent creation, the golden throne of Zeus. When he presented it to Zeus, the king of the gods was so impressed that he welcomed Hephaestus back to Olympus with open arms. Hermes. Hermes was born to Zeus, the mighty king of the gods, and Maia, a beautiful nymph. Legend has it that as soon as he was born, Hermes displayed his cunning nature by sneaking out of his cradle and stealing Apollo's prized cattle. When Apollo discovered the theft, he demanded justice. But when Hermes presented a lyre he had created from a tortoise shell and played it so beautifully, Apollo couldn't help but be impressed. And so, Hermes cleverly avoided punishment and earned his place among the Olympian gods. From that moment on, Hermes embraced his role as the messenger of the gods. He was swift-footed and agile, equipped with winged sandals and a magical staff called the caduceus. With these tools, he could traverse great distances in the blink of an eye, delivering messages between the gods and mortals. Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, and theater, was born to Zeus, the king of the gods, and Semele, a mortal princess. His conception was shrouded in intrigue and tragedy, as Semele was consumed by flames upon seeing the full glory of Zeus. In a miraculous act, Zeus rescued the unborn Dionysus and sewed him into his thigh until the time of his birth. Thus, Dionysus emerged into the world as a twice-born god, embodying the duality of mortal and divine.